I believe we've got 2 minutes, so I'll be as quick as I can. So my name's Adam Castle. I'm the Web Services Manager at the RIPE NCC, and I would like to thank the CPC for allowing me to talk about the RIPE networking app today. So I'll go on to it. What is the RIPE networking app? Well, quite simply, it's an online tool which allows you to communicate and meet fellow attendees at this event at C7. The app works on the desktop as well as on Google and iOS devices. If you use the Google and iOS devices, then you will also have the ability to get push notifications, which you won't on the desktop. You can also see the agenda here at C7 as well. So why do we have an app? Well, it was quite simply requested at many meetings that the RIPE NCC helps organise. At the last few RIPE meetings we've been running this app, it's been quite successful. We've had over 400 people use it at RIPE 76. Also, we had almost 100 people use it at ENOG 15 2 weeks ago. Basically, the attendees of these meetings asked that they would like to connect with fellow attendees before, during, and after the meeting. So that's why we have this application open for over a month, so that you can connect during the whole time of the meeting. We also noted that a lot of people turn up with more than one device. They come with laptops and also phones. So we had to provide an application that worked with multiple devices. So let's get into it. How does it work? Well, you need a RIPE NCC Access account, and you can go to this URL here, or you go to the Google Play or iTunes store, and you can download it free of charge, of course, and it will start working on your devices. So once you've logged in and gone through the intro screen, the first screen that you will see is the schedule, which will be the schedule for C7. From this screen, you can book meetings in your own agenda, so you can block out time, but also you can book and invite people to meetings. Each slot actually has additional information about the agenda, so the speakers, for example. From this, you'll get a push notification, so if you book a meeting, 15 minutes before that meeting, you will receive a push notification letting you that a meeting's coming up. The second screen I want to talk to is the participant screen. Basically, you can filter for all application users. So you can search on their name, also any kind of information that they might have tagged themselves with. For example, in my profile, I've tagged myself that I like Python, the programming language. So if you actually search for Python, you would get all the Python developers in-house, which is at the moment just me, it seems. From here, you can actually send messages to each user, and you can book a meeting with each user. If you click on this toggle up here, you can see all the people currently checked in on site, so all the non-app users. And from this screen, you can send an email to the non-app users, alerting them that you would like to meet with them as well. I mentioned the profile before. You can add your company information in here, your personal bio, also your job title. All of this is very useful because it can be used for filtering by other attendees looking for each other. I also you can put in the status, like when you're on site, and like I said, you can tag each other, well, tag yourself, so that people can search on these tags. I should note that if you've used the app at a previous meeting, you will need to, so like a RIPE 76 or ENOG 15, for example, you will need to log out at this point and switch to the C7 app, a C7 event to use to see the agenda. So I just want to tell you quickly how the app was built. It was built on an open source technology. Basically, this was to keep the cost low, but also to use the knowledge already in the community. It's a JavaScript framework, which is called Ionic. It's basically Angular, and it's written on an Apache open source tool called Cordova or PhoneGap. And it basically creates a hybrid app. So you write in HTML and it spits it out in native apps. There's good and downsides to this. The good points is that you have an app easily for multiple devices, but you do lose a bit of performance by doing this. So the application was completely built in-house, or the open source code was written on top of in-house. The only third-party tool we use is what's called OneSignal, which is a push notification aggregation tool, and that meant that we could just easily do push notifications to multiple devices at the same time, rather than writing redundant code for Google and for iOS devices. But I'd like to point out we don't push any private information to this. We just say you have an upcoming meeting and no names or anything goes through it. So I'm on site. Please come and give me any feedback, what you think of the application, what's good, what's bad, if there's any bugs. I'd really appreciate it. And I quickly just like to kind of feedback about actually doing app development. This is our first hybrid app that we built, and I know that some people in the room are interested in building hybrid or mobile apps as well. One thing to keep in mind that the speed of development of mobile devices is extreme. If you start developing now, within a day you're probably out of date. So I recommend that you do, in your continuous integration, you rebuild your app every month just to see what has broken, and then you can fix it like that so you're not caught short when you want to go to production. The push notifications I mentioned was easily done with a company like OneSignal. There's many other ones out there. This really helped us streamline the code and helped us get into production as quickly as possible. And I just want to highlight quickly the difference between deploying on a Google and Apple device. Google, it took us 3 hours to get into the Google Play Store, while with Apple it took 3 weeks. And the reason for this is because they do a lot more manual checks on your application. So when you're building an app and you want to go into production, you have to schedule this into your development cycle. So I don't think I've got any time for questions, but I'm here at the dinner. Come and speak to me and give us your feedback.
Okay, if there are no questions, thank you, Adam. This is very, very cool app.